Welcome to the Ayush Valley Foundation's day 4 of our free webinars. And we have a 2-hour session, and we have two people, Anu, who was with us, two instructors, Anu, who was with us earlier, started the event, and Jisha Chandran, who is the medical officer at the Medical College and Hospital, and also editor in charge of Abhinav Dhanvantari Journal of Ayurveda. The Abhinav Dhanvantari Journal is a very old journal of Ayurveda published from Samajam, and the journal is had a short break somewhere and is now back as back functional. So the last few days we've touched on several topics. Yesterday we had wonderful presentations on how medicines are prepared. We had a wonderful presentation prior to that on some of the principles of good life and living in Ayurveda. And prior to that, we had presentations on Panchakarma, all of the details about Panchakarma, the procedures, the karmas, and purification procedures. And Anu's, Mathew, who is here with us today, she started the whole program with Siddhanta and Itihas, Ayurveda, and the theory of Ayurveda and how it came about. We also heard yesterday from Dr. Arjun. We heard about the traditional medicines, Aushadhis, and he also gave us some idea of the theory. Today, we are going to have Anu and Jisha talking about food, lifestyle, and Ayurveda in contemporary living. Both Anu and Jisha are going to be with us for the entire session. They will be presenting together. And from the feedback we have got until now from our participants, the feeling is we need to understand a little more about how Ayurveda can be used in everyday living. The deep principles and the texts and the sophisticated language is wonderful, but we also need to see how Ayurvedic practice can be used on a day-to-day basis and how it can be used for the benefit of people to provide health and to keep them healthy. And let us see how Anu and Jisha are going to take us into this whole process of how Ayurvedic knowledge can be understood for day-to-day practice and keeping us healthy. Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Jisha. We have how have you decided to use the 2 hours? What we will do, we'll take about 45 minutes at the first session, and then take a very short break, and then come back to continue with the next half. And then please give enough time so that questions and answers, you have enough time for questions and answers. We have seen from the last few sessions that there are a lot of questions, and our question and answer sessions drag quite, they can go on for long. So give ourselves enough time for questions and answers. Thank you so much. So leave it with you, Anu and Jisha. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let's start with a prayer. Sadadanushakta Asheshagaya Visrudanashesha Autsukyamoha Redidanjakana Yopurvavaidyaya Namostu tasmai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. I'm Dr. Anu Mathew, Assistant Professor, PNNM Ayurveda Medical College. Myself, Dr. Jisha Chandran, Medical Officer, PNNM Ayurveda Medical College. Today we have another wonderful session of our Inside 2021 online courses conducted by Ayush Valley Foundation and PNNM Ayurveda Medical College. Today's topic for discussion is food, lifestyle and Ayurveda in contemporary living. In the first class itself, we discussed that Ayurveda is a science which helps us to learn about the universe, or which teaches us how to live along with the universe with its natural rhythms. And we had crossed many topics like Ayurvedic history and Swasthyavrata details, but today we are helping you how to design an Ayurvedic lifestyle in a gist, because Ayurveda is a science of wisdom, it's an ocean of wisdom, so it's not easy to learn within a short span. So we will give a brief outline about how to design an Ayurvedic lifestyle. Over to Dr. Jisha.
Thank you, Dr. Anu. It's a very great opportunity to represent myself in this platform. And in the previous classes, you have heard about the evolution of Ayurveda, the history, the Panchakarma, daily regimens, seasonal regimens, etc. Today, we will be discussing the highlight or the recent scenario of Ayurveda in this contemporary living. Over to the PPT. So, how Ayurveda can help us to have a healthy living? Ayurveda do have a concept of Traya Upastambhas, that is the tripod of life, the main three pillars of the life, and it mainly include Nidra, Ahara, and the Brahmacharya. So, regarding the concept of Traya Upastambha of Ayurveda, so it's the main three pillars or the tripod of the life, and it mainly include Ahara, Nidra and Brahmacharya. Ahara, it's all about the diet, the dietary principles which one has to follow to have a healthy living. Then comes the Nidra, the sleep patterns. It could be a lack of sleep or irregular sleep, or we are facing this nowadays. So how to have a good sleep pattern with the Ayurvedic techniques. Again, the Brahmacharya, the abstinence. Regarding the Ahara, Ayurveda never says that you have to be a vegan or you should have only vegetarian diet. Right from Indian mythology, right from the ancient literatures like Bhagavad Gita, Chandogya, Upanishads, we do have references regarding Ahara or the food. But it's very common that we have to take good food for a healthy living, etc., etc. What does this food do to us? It gives us nourishment, it gives us longevity, it gives us strength, well-being, etc. There is a reference from Chandogya Upanishad, that is, Ahara should be Sattva Shuddhi. That is, if our food is pure enough, it has the capacity to cleanse our body, mind, what body and mind, even our soul. So the perspective of our ancient seers were that much, the dimension is wide. So similarly, the great seer or the saint Kashyapa has also referred food as the Mahabheshajya. That is, the food itself is a great medicine. Again, we do have many dietary principles and the codes of conduct that which we have to practice while taking a diet. Over to you, Anu, to explain regarding the basic principles on an Ayurvedic diet.
Yesterday, in the Swasthyavrata class itself, we came to know that food is one of the important things as far as the health and disease is concerned. But we know that yesterday Dr. Smita Madam highlighted that we are in a fast-moving world and we have no time to take adequate food. Not adequate in the sense we have no specific food patterns. We are following a special pattern which is flexible for us. That means we are not following any traditional principles as far as the food consumption is concerned. In Ayurvedic classics, we have a reference that Ahara Sambhavam Vastu. That means Vastu means body. Body is made up of food. Again, Acharya says that the disease is also formed out of food. That means the body as well as disease is formed from the food. From that itself, we can understand the swastha as well as adura from the food concept. I mean to say, if you are following the principles and practice of food in a right way, you can be a healthy person. At the same time, the irregular food pattern leads to a diseased person. So that much important it is, and we already studied that Ayurveda, which already focusing on the preventive aspects rather than the treatment. So here we have to take a decision that I will follow the correct rules and principles regarding the food, because by that itself you can be healthy. No need to go behind the treatments for different diseases, because nowadays we all are suffering from different types of lifestyle disorders. From where it is occurring, many researches are conducted regarding the causative factors, the treatment principles of the lifestyle disorders, and still it is going on. Many new theories are coming out. Still, the people are suffering from such kind of lifestyle disorders. So, we can follow the correct rules and principles regarding the food consumption, and we can prevent the chances of affected from such type of diseases. So, we prepared a slide. This is a gist of food principle or the basic principles on Ayurvedic diet, because as far as the classics is concerned, there are many concepts regarding the food, but it's not easy to follow all the rules in a short time by a beginner in Ayurveda. So as a beginner, you just follow these basic principles, and in the later courses, the certificate course on Ahara, Ayurveda dietetics are still waiting for you. So when you are joining for that course, we will teach you the each and every point as per the classics. So for starting from the moment, we can follow these rules and principles. First point is the time. We know that we all have a specific time and the divided meals in each day. That may be according to our job pattern, maybe it depends on our appetite, many things are there. Still, we are following a specific time for each food, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, that may be vary person to person. But the thing you should keep in mind that you should follow regular time for taking food. If you have a habit of taking breakfast, try to take the breakfast in a proper time every day. That means if you're planning to take breakfast by 8 o'clock, try to follow the same, because the early food as well as the delayed food is not good. I mean, that are the causative factors for diseases. Yesterday in the question answer session, we had a query that whether the delayed food intake leads to obesity. That was a wonderful question, that the timing of the food is always important. Next is the quantity. How much food we have to take? These are the common questions that everyone have. As when we are talking about Ayurvedic diet, you may be thinking that what are the specific points that you should consider. So the quantity is the second point. Quantity means in Ayurveda, if the stomach is divided into 4 parts, it is mentioned that the 50%, the 2 parts should be filled with solid food. Solid means or the main food should be up to 50%, 50%. The remaining 1/4 for liquid portion, and the remaining 1/4 should be empty. So 2/4 for main course food, 1/4 for liquid part, and the 1/4 should keep as empty. That means it is not advised to take full stomach. So the remaining 1/4 is for gases. We discussed about vata and all. So for the proper movement of the movement of the food and liquid. That is, for good digestion, there should be sufficient space in the stomach. Otherwise, we may feel that it's up to the chest and we may feel some discomforts. So the quantity should be specific. Then about the quality. In Ayurveda, we already learned about the Manasa Prakritis, and as Dr. Jisha said, in Upanishad and all, different types of foods are mentioned: wholesome, unwholesome, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Many classifications are there. The quality means what we are eating is a big issue. We are eating, but what we are eating, the quality of the food is also very important, and the quality is based on our Deha Prakriti, our climatic variations, our environmental factors, our appetite. Everything should be considered. For example, if you have indigestion, you are suffering from loss of appetite, you are not feeling hungry, but you are thinking that without food, how I can continue, or it's the time for my food so that I have to take. That is our mindset. But you have indigestion. So at that time, you should consider which type of food I have to take. We are not saying that we are not saying that you skip the food. It's not like that. You have to think which food I have to take this time. That means it should be light. It should be easy to digest, so that the indigestion will be rectified by the body itself. On the same way, if you're not considering the indigestion as a big issue and you are eating heavy meals, means the indigestion will progress to the another stage, and that may lead to diseases. So the quality of the food is very important. Then balanced diet. We should follow a balanced diet. What is balanced diet? Balanced diet means the diet which satisfies the need of the body by all means. It means from that food we should get all the nutrients in a proper way. Then only we can say that it's a balanced diet. So many people are following different styles of eating. Some are following dieting, keto dieting, many are there. But when you are following any specific pattern, you should ensure that yours is a balanced diet. Otherwise, you may be suffering from some diseases because of the malnourishment. Next is, I would like to add few more points that you may have some doubt. In Ayurveda, it is always you have to take the fresh food. Likewise, many concepts are there. But we are usually keeping our food in refrigerator because it's not easy to prepare food all the time in fresh form. So we are keeping food in refrigerators. Is it good, or will it cause any harm to us? Refrigeration itself is not a problem because it is necessary nowadays, but you should follow some rules when you are keeping food in refrigerator. That is, whenever you are taking food out from it, allow it to same with the room temperature. Keep it aside until it reaches the room temperature. Second thing, try to avoid the repeated heating. Many are taking the food and keep on heating because that's not good, because in Ayurveda it is considered that punataptam vishobhamam. That means repeated heating is considered as poison. So try to avoid repeated heating and never try to heat the food just after taking from the refrigerator. That will cause many health issues which we will be dealing in our later courses. Second thing is incompatible food. In Ayurveda, we call it as Viruddha Ahara. Viruddha means opposite, Ahara means food. So simply we can say that are opposite foods. So incompatible means after digestion, the food may not cope up with each other. For example, if you are taking rice and if you are taking a side dish as milk, rice and milk is not a problem. I'm just saying an example. We are believing that after digestion, the milk and the rice will cope up with each other. But some food combinations that may not match accordingly. In classics, it is mentioned that the meat of chicken along with curd is considered as an incompatible food. Many examples are there. Another one is if you are taking milk along with sour fruits, you are taking one orange and you are drinking a glass of milk means that is incompatible because one is sour and the other one is sweet. So that will not match. So there are many examples, and when you are following a specific dietary pattern, should keep in mind that incompatible food should be avoided. At the same time, Acharya mentioned that if you have good health and if you are following the incompatible food for a long period, you may adapt it with that. You may accustomed with that. But that exemption is only for few. Majority will be comes in the first point. That is, incompatible food will cause some diseases. So those things, everything we will be discussing in our future courses. So these are the basic principles of an Ayurvedic diet.
Thank you, Anu. Next, in Trayobastamba, it's mainly the Nidra, that is the sleep. We all know when we are mentally or physically exhausted, we get into sleep. And according to Ayurveda, the main two factors which influence sleep are the Tamo dosha and the Kapha dosha. What are the benefits of having a good sleep? Normally, it is meant for a healthy well-being, proper living, and having a good mental status. When our indriyas and manas get exhausted, that is the sense organs and the alertness or the awakening, or we are drained out, we get into sleep. So what are the nidanas or the cause for having a sleeplessness or an irregular sleeping pattern? Because nowadays it's becoming very common that people are suffering from sleep disturbances. They are not having proper sleep. So just have a glance to have that why the people are not having a proper sleep. It could be their changed food pattern. It could be their lifestyle. It could be whatever the stress. Let it be they are from a IT field or something like that, that they have a great exposure on the blue computers, on the blue rays, or they are a gadget freaks or something like that. So all these reasons directly or indirectly influence their sleep patterns. So how we can manage or how we could have a balanced sleep by these Ayurveda techniques. Normally we all say having a lukewarm bathing just before bed, which helps to promote sleep. Suga Ushnambu Snanam, that it has a reference from our Samhitas itself. Again, from a dietary pattern, I would say or I would recommend having a lukewarm milk. It also helps just before bedtime. You can have some lukewarm milk so that it will help you to have a good sleeping pattern. Again, meditation, offering prayers, pranayama, the breathing exercise, all these will come under how to have a good sleeping pattern. Normally, the acharyas or the great saints of Ayurveda recommend to go bed early and wake up early. So always the Samajam or the Samaja Sampradaya always emphasize to get synchronized or move along with the natural rhythms. So to have a healthy sleep pattern, try to look into our nature, observe nature, how the birds, how the sun, and everything, because the nature has a lot of influence in our prakriti, our general constitution and general well-being. The next tripod, it would be the abstinence, and moving before, I would ask Anu to say on this.
Thank you, Dr. Jisha. As Dr. Jisha said, the second pillar is Nidra. I would like to explain about Nidra on the basis of the present scenario. That is, as we already discussed, we are having many diseases, including lifestyle disorders nowadays. For example, if we consider the diabetic mellitus, we are saying that it is because of some hormonal imbalance. When we think about PCOD, again we are saying that it's because of hormonal complaints. And the same thyroid dysfunction. These are getting common day by day. And we are treating it based on that imbalance of hormones. Have you ever think that the Nidra is having some role in controlling all these metabolic functions in the body? You imagine that after long heavy work, you may feel tired. If you have a good sleep, you may feel very comfortable and relaxed. How it is happening? Can we take some food to get away from the tiredness or fatigue? Is the food is for our nourishment? Why we are preferring nidra or the sleep as a choice for getting up with such disturbances or such tiredness? That means something is happening inside the body when we are sleeping. The first and foremost thing is when we are sleeping, all the other activities are stopped because we are not walking, we are not talking, nothing. So our body is taking rest. At the same time, the internal functions are going on. So the body gets time to refresh by itself. At the same time, when the brain gets relaxed, that will produce its own hormones in a correct way. If you are keeping water in a tank and we are trying to let it out with the help of a tap, normally we have no issues in collecting water. But if there is some obstruction in the channel, the water will not come out properly. And if you want to get correct flow of water, we try to destroy that obstruction. Just like that, allow our body to relax. The sleep is such a wonderful medicine for relaxation. When you are sleeping, your brain gets relaxed, our pituitary gland, our hypothalamus, everything will function in a proper way. So the hormonal action, the hormonal production, the hormonal activities, everything will be tuned accordingly. At the same time, in the first session itself, we discussed about the psychosomatic diseases. And I already replied that is getting one of the major issues nowadays. It is because of the stress mainly, and sleep is the choice for getting relaxed in a better way. So the importance of sleep, I hope you understand the importance of sleep. Never go behind many theories and never try to consider all the diseases are because of many major etiological factors. Nothing like that. We can design our life based on the three pillars, especially the food and the sleep. Next is about the time of sleep. As we already discussed, early to bed and early wake up. That is a normal practice. But in the current scenario, most of the people are working overnight and some may have shift duties. So we can't say that you should go to bed by 10 o'clock and should wake up by 4 a.m. But we can design our sleep pattern according to our profession, according to our normal routine. But that should be in a proper manner. The time of sleep means you should ensure that you are getting at least 6 hours of sleep every day. And if you're losing your sleep for a long time, try to find time to adjust the same lacuna in the next day itself. Never try to accumulate the sleeplessness for a long. It is not the sleeplessness. Actually, I would like to say the irregular sleep. Some are keep on sleeping, especially in some lifestyle disorders, diabetes and all. We can see that the persons are having excessive sleep. That is also not good. So we should follow a correct pattern for our sleep. Next is, another thing is you should understand that this problem, that is irregularity in the sleep pattern, is recommended for a medical consultation. That is, if you have excessive sleep, that is a problem. If you have decreased sleep, again, that is a problem. So when you have noticed that you have some sleep irregularities and it is not possible to correct by yourself, better to consult a physician. No shy in that, it is the necessity of your body to correct your sleep pattern. So I hope you understand a rough idea, you understand about the sleep pattern in a better way. So we can move on to the next topic, that is the brahmacharya. Normally, this is a word which is explained in different ways. And this normally brahmacharya means abstinence from sexual life. Normally it is sannyasis, yogis, everyone. Brahmacharya means get away from sexual life. But in Ayurveda, brahmacharya means practicing a healthy sexual life. That means sexual life is considered as one of the pillars in our life, or one of the point in our Traya Upastambhas. So let's have a discussion over that. Importance of sexual life. Sexual life or sex is the natural urge of a human being. It is the natural instinct that the nature has given. So we should respect a healthy sexual practices, and that will add on to our health also. That will give nourishment, that will give happiness. Many benefits are there. And purpose of sexual life means there are two main purposes mentioned in Ayurveda. First is happiness. Sex is for happy life. The second one is the continuation of the generation. Without sexual life, the progenies will not produce, or the continuation of the generation is not possible. So the two main purpose of sexual life is happiness and continuation of the generation. So we can use the sexual life for both the purpose. It is for happiness. When you feel stressed, you can get away from that with a healthy sexual life. That means the main purpose is happiness only. At the same time, for the continuation of generation, the sexual life is the prime thing. So the purpose is two. Healthy sexual practices means we know that according to the rule of nature, male and female coitus is considered as the normal. There are many sexual perversions, homosexual, many things are there. But the normal healthy sexual practice means in between a male and a female according to the law of nature. As far as the Ayurveda is concerned, there are some rules and regulations for practicing a healthy sexual life. That is, according to the season, there are some rules. I mean to say, in winter season, the body energy will be more, so that recurrent or repeated sexual practices are advised. Whereas in summer, as our body energy is less, there are specifications regarding sexual life. That is, once in 15 days is advised. So many rules and regulations are there. So those things we will be dealing in our certificate courses in detail. And about the concept of Vajjikarana, this is one of the most misused word in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is something related with Vajjikarana, or Ayurveda medicines are aphrodisiac medicines. Many advertisements we are seeing, and this is the most misused word too. But Vajjikarana means enhancing the potency of a person with the help of some medicines, as well as by modifying the regimens. So Vajjikarana intended to improve the potency of a person. Of course, we have many Vajjikarana Aushadhis, and the female is considered as the Agriya for Vajjikarana. As Dr. Jisha said, milk is also a good Vajikarana Aushadha, and many Ayurvedic drugs are indicated for those who are not having good sexual capacity. Many diseases are associated with that, some erectile dysfunctions, then sperm related issues like oligospermia, azoospermia, likewise. So in those conditions, we have lot many treatment practices, but Vajikarana, it is just to improve the potency of a person. So that's about the importance of Trayobastambhas. And over to Dr. Jisha.
Yesterday we have already discussed regarding the Dinacharya importance or the importance of daily regimen in our Swastavrita classes. So having a slight recap regarding the Swastavrita, that we have to get up early and have a good bath and good exercise, importance of Abhyanga and everything. It has been already discussed in the previous classes. So just I am having a quick recollection of the things which we have already discussed. Firstly, the bowel habits. I asked Dr. Anu to explain the bowel habits.
In Dinacharya, we discussed about many things. And after yesterday's class, you may be thinking that whether it is possible to do all these in a daily basis, because right from getting up till the bedtime, we have lot many regimens. Actually, we should follow all the regimens in accordance with the rules and principles of Ayurveda. But as a beginners, it's not easy to follow each and everything. And I know that everyone are having a busy schedule. So in spite of your busy schedule, how you can start with the Dinacharya practice? From the practical side, I'm saying just try to follow at least these Dinacharyas as a beginner. First is of course bowel habits, because regular toileting is mandatory. I mean to say, if you're taking food in a proper way, in a proper quantity, and you have a proper sleep, means definitely you have a regular bowel habit. So by adjusting your food and sleep patterns, try to have bowel habits on a regular basis. Second is oil massage. In Western countries, the oil application is comparatively less as far as our traditional or our Kerala style concerned. Still, try to use oil at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks. Try to apply oil all over the body, including head, and feel the difference. Definitely, you feel that the Abhyanga or the oil massage will add more to your health. Next is about exercise.
Exercise, as you all know, that we have to practice a daily, according to our health, 20 minutes of workout or whatever it may be. It would be a slight walking or swimming or just aerobic, or you could follow your passion of like dancing or something like yoga or whatever. If everything which helps you to promote your healthy living, you have to have a simple exercise practice daily in your lifestyle. Again, you have the bath, and we do have a system of Samaja Sampradaya bathing over here, and we have special Snana Churna, and everything is recommended. And normally in here, that in southern part of India, especially in Kerala, we prefer to take bath in early morning. So, and that too in a lukewarm water by using a slight abhyanga. We used to practice bath, and after bathing we used to put some rasnadi churna, which have an action of pacifying the vada, and we do put it on our murtha or the head, so that it will help to release the vadic disturbances over the body. And I would like to Anu to share her recommendations on this bath and exercise as well.
Regarding the bath, again there are some rules and regulations. Still, you can follow regular bath as Dr. Jisha said, and we will have an exclusive certificate course for Ayurvedic bathing, in which we will teach you the scientific basis or the scientific importance of taking Ayurvedic bath. Anyhow, try to have bath every day if possible after the oil massage. Next is about Anjana. Yesterday we learned about Anjana, its benefits and all. Anjana actually it's for pacifying the kapha dosha in your eyes. Mainly it is intended for that. So by practicing Anjana daily, we can get away from the diseases predominantly of kapha dosha, and thereby you will get good eye health. So I will tell you how to apply Anjana. Yesterday we had a query that how I can use Anjana, as I am attending online classes daily, so I have some eye strain and all. So Anjana is like, it's a special medicinal preparation. It's just like a thick cream. You may be seen Anjana. It's commonly known as collyrium. So it's black in color because of the lead content, and we should apply Anjana right from this end of eye. That is, we know that our eyes having two ends. One is near to nose. So you should start from that end and slowly shifting to the other end. So the collyrium or the Anjana, that will smear in the eyelids, and slowly it will spread all around the eyes, and that will clear off all the waste products in the eye, and you will get good eye health. So one who wish to practice Anjana can do on the regular basis, and a special type of Anjana, that is Rasanjana, is mentioned. That should be practiced once in 7 days. But as a daily regimen, we advise normal Anjana. So that's all about the Dinacharya. Now we can move on to the Ritucharya. Over to Dr. Jisha.
So again, the Ritucharya Pradhanya, or the importance of seasonal regimens. Again, as per the previous discussions that Dr. Smita has emphasized regarding the seasonal regimen, here we have Shad Ritus, that is the six seasons, that is autumn, Grishmam. Not only the you might have 4 seasons in the European and other parts of the world, but we do have a practice of having 6 seasons. So regardingly, it is widely discussed that we have to practice a good seasonal regime to keep ourselves body fit and to get away from diseases. And here I would like to emphasize one of the practice as a seasonal regime that we do practice in our hospital as well as in Kerala Ayurveda Samajam as a part of the Samajam Sampradaya, that in the month of July or August, that when it is after the rainy season, we do have a practice of distributing Karkida Kandi, that is a gruel-like preparation. Its main ingredients are the red raw rice and the fenugreek. And these preparations are kept or are given to the patients as well as in the IP and OP section as a charity basis, so that the effect or its effect is it alleviates vata, because there are high chances after rainy season, there is a high chance that the vata get vitiated. So in order to alleviate vata, we do have a practice during the months of Karkidaga, that is in the last of July or the beginning of August. We do distribute this Karkidakani to our patients or the people surrounding here. Again, regarding the importance of the seasonal regimens, so always we are emphasizing that we have to be synchronized with the natural rhythm to stay happy and stay healthy. Over to Dr. Anu regarding the other points.
Ritucharya, as we mentioned, that these are the changes these are the modifications in lifestyle that we have to adopt when the season changes. Try to imagine that we are driving a car, and we can't expect which all vehicles are coming on the opposite side, and always we are alert to be safe. Just like that, there are not many changes in the environment when one season changes to the other. So we have to adapt with the changes in the environment by adjusting our body. How we can adjust our body is, first we have to understand what are the changes happening to our body in each season. For example, if it is a rainy season, normally the environment will be somewhat cool. But that time we are feeling hungry all the time. Even though we are taking food, still we are feeling hungry. It is because of the vitiated pitta, we are feeling such a pseudo hunger. That means we had food in the morning, it may not get digested properly. Even then we are feeling hungry. Again we are taking food. So that we cause indigestion. So one who knows this is the pseudo hunger can avoid the chances of overeating, and thereby we can correcting the chances of indigestion. So just like that, in each season, try to understand the bodily changes and try to follow the Ayurvedic regimens so that we can be healthy in all seasons. At the same time, keep it in mind that whenever a season ends and the next season begins, that junction is considered as the Ritu Sandhi, where the purificatory procedures are indicated. If you want to flush out all the waste things in your body, try to do the Shodhana therapy or the purificatory procedures in the Ritu Sandhi so that you can be healthy. So this is about Ritucharya.
Next, regarding the latest trends in Ayurveda, these are the main trends that which we also try to practice in our Samajam as well as PNNM Ayurveda Medical College. And it mainly deals with Ayurvedic cosmetology, Ayurvedic dietetics, and Ayurvedic approach in a pandemic. As well as we do carry out many Ayurvedic researches. Regarding each one by detail, we always have prior experiences with other candidates from Japan, Brazil, etc. So details over, I am moving to Dr. Anu regarding the Ayurvedic cosmetology and the other branches we have.